Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. Today I am doing another short thoughts on current reads video. People seem to like last month when I did a little video about my current reads, and since people enjoyed that, I thought I would do another one and make it kind of a monthly thing that I do. There are two books that I'm still reading from last month's current thoughts on current reads, and they are Le Morte d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory, as well as Dancing with Myself, Billy Idol's memoir. And I'm just kind of going through those kind of at a slow pace, but I am enjoying them, and my thoughts on them are still pretty much the same as what I thought last month, so I will link you in the description to last month's current reads video so that you can hear those thoughts if you so choose. Other than that, I think I'm just going to jump into the books that I have added to my currently reading list. As I mentioned in my wrap-up and to-be-read video last time, my friend Brian Bigelow has given me some of the proofs for some of the books that he would like to self-publish. So they are not yet published, just to kind of get my opinion on them. And the one that I decided to start with was his novella, which is Burn Before Reading. So I am going to kind of reserve my thoughts on this book just because it is written by a friend, and I would like to tell him my points of view on some of the things in his novel in person as opposed to in a video in a public forum. But I can kind of tell you that it is a book kind of just about college life and a bunch of different characters navigating college life. Next book that I'm reading is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, which is the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments series. Being that this is kind of later in the series, I won't summarize the book because, you know, spoilers. I didn't want to wait too much longer to get to this 5th book just because 4th book ended with quite a bit of a cliffhanger, and although I remembered the cliffhanger, I wasn't sure after a certain point of time that I would remember all the little details that led to said cliffhanger. So I wanted to jump right into this. It's one that I'm picking up to read kind of in between reading other things. This is an ebook. It is really easy for me to carry this one around a little bit more, and also if I'm about to like lay down and take a nap or something, it's easier to kind of lay down and read with this one. So I'm probably going to read it a little slower than other ones, but I still am really enjoying jumping back into the Shadowhunter world and visiting with the characters. I'm only about 10% into this, and there has been a little bit of a revelation in it, but I haven't gotten like deep into the story, so I can't really speak for my full thoughts on like all the crazy that may or may not happen in the later parts of the book. But I have to say I'm just enjoying just visiting with the characters and also getting to read a YA book. I have been reading a lot more adult fiction in the past month or two. It's kind of nice to jump in to the YA type of age group and read about a different age group for a second. Next, I am finally getting around to rereading Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and I'm reading it in this fabulous annotated edition. Just started this a couple of days ago. I'm about 10-15% into this one as well. I'm thinking I'm going to read this one pretty fast because I didn't remember from the last time that I read it that it has really, really short chapters, and you know that I can book it through a book that has short chapters. Loving this. Like, I haven't read this since I was in 8th grade or so. While I didn't forget the events in it, because I have since then watched a lot of film versions and all sorts of things like that, and it's just a very memorable story, I did sort of like forget the enjoyment that I found in Jane Austen's writing style in this one in particular. It's just so sarcastic and funny to me. I don't know how anybody else reads it, but that's how I read Pride and Prejudice. Super extra loving this with the annotations, because while this book I feel can kind of be read without you fully knowing all the cultural context of the time period, it is extra enriched by getting some notes on the time period just additional things about this social etiquette that you might have inferred when you read the book without notes, but now you know for sure what they're talking about. I'm enjoying it so very much, and it's just a really good book by itself, and I'm so glad to be rereading it. The next semi-current read is one that I have not actually jumped fully into, but I'm thinking I'm going to jump into by the end of this week, so I thought I would just include it. And it is Otherland, Volume 2, River of Blue Fire by Tad Williams. So this is the second book in the Otherland series. A short summary of the general Otherland series is that it is set in the future, and it is about people who kind of live predominantly in virtual reality. They do live in their real lives and function in their real lives, but there's quite a bit of their lives going on in the virtual world, and a group of characters discovers that there is kind of something dark going on in that virtual world, and they are trying to figure out what's happening and how to stop that. Earlier in the week, I did finish Otherland, City of Golden Shadows, which is the first novel, and I didn't necessarily before this month intend to start another pretty huge book, but I read up on the Otherland series, and I also, finished that first book and realized that that series is a series better binge read, because the book series was actually intended to kind of be read as one full novel, but obviously they couldn't publish it like that because that would be like a novel this big and it would be well over 1,000 pages. Really enjoyed the first one because it was a really different kind of science fiction novel, and I'm really intrigued to see what happens to the characters. So I have not technically started a lot of this. What I do think is really super awesome about the second book is that the author does include a synopsis of the first book in the front of this, and I want to go, all authors that write series novels, please do this, because it did really help me remember some things that I might have forgotten from the early parts of the first book, and it also did really clarify some things that I think that I might have missed in the first novel, and I think everybody should do that. So I did read that section, and I'm hoping by the end of this week to jump into this a little bit more. Those are all my thoughts on my current reads. Apparently my goal this year is just to knock out all those books that are almost 500 pages and above. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye!